Alright, look, listen, check it out. We're about to conclude the greatest game of all time between Scarlett and Bomber. This has been a pretty good game thus far by Scarlett. We've seen her get into a position where, though she lost the gold, managed to retain most of the economy while battering down most of Bomber's. But in one of the weirdest and most interesting twists brought to you by this here map, the gold expansion allows an economically battered Bomber to be fine. Just ridiculous mineral income. Scarlett has the advantage of this back positioning set of bases. So I'm going to go back to the Scarlett cam. This is where the commentators started to talk about how important Burrow would be in this position. Just the amount of space that's available, and the lack of really anything but marine production is super notable. And it's actually not that hard to notice either. I think it's erroneous for, especially commentators to say something like, oh, he needs to get banelings because all Bomber has is marines. But does Scarlett know that? Scarlett actually has the ability to pretty quickly identify that here. And by that's not to say that, like, Scarlett made an error because she actually gets Burrow. That's just to say that for other situations in other games. So, because I know I get asked this a lot, the difference between how do I say that? Yeah, I mean, the way I normally say it is the difference between what you would have had that would be good in that battle. What I normally say is having it in the battle is a lot different from being able to have had it in the battle. So, I mean, in this situation, it's like, wouldn't a Raven be good for Bomber right now? Yeah, but how could he have possibly gotten that with everything that's gone on? And this is sort of extending that idea to scouting. It's really easy to look with complete information in a replay or if you're watching a game and to say, well, why doesn't so-and-so have X already? Because it's impossible to have known. And I'm noting that here is a nice example of when you actually can get away with that information, or can get away stating that, because you get so much information from these little attacks. Just by attacking brings all the scouting information to the front lines. More Mutalisks getting made by Scarlett. Such a brilliant choice. Not saving any of that for banelings. Actually going to be going way past 20 in this spot. And continuing to take bases. I think this is a very smart play from Scarlett, because she's essentially saying, if you attack me, I fly up here and devastate your entire gold base, and then win the game in economy. As we see right there. This is one of the most elegant and fantastic of contained plays. So here I'm like, oh my god, Scarlett's playing perfectly. She did the economic damage. But Bomber is incredible. Like, so incredible. Oh god, this is where I wanted Burrow to be here so bad. Like, Broadling's there. Or here, or even back there. Would have been so good. So, Bomber just floods with Marines in this spot. And in terms of what I was saying earlier, in terms of the hardest decisions to ever make, this is why I think it's so hard for Scarlett to look at this situation and then to be building more Mutalisks. Or beforehand, to have been building more and more Mutalisks. Because in these spots, your brain says, Banelings kill this, and I can get Banelings, so that means I should have had more Banelings to kill this off. But, I mean, the Mutalisks, as evidenced by just clicking around, you'll start to see there's 9 kills, 1 kill, 3, 11, 7, 2, 9, 1, 2. I mean, the amount of kills that these Mutalisks have in total is, like, absurd. Obviously, when you're in a situation where it's, like, banging down the front door, like, getting the Banelings up, like, right now is great. But more patience, man. Continues to pull back. Same story with the Mutalisks. Why are they so good? Because they can get in and around these engaging parties. Scarlett's Mutalisks are, like, never inactive. And then here, this is where most people just 1A into oblivion. I'm actually going to change the coloring here so you can see the line of red on the mini-map. Bomber just spamming more and more Marines. And the continued pullbacks, the continued retreats from Scarlett with the continually active Mutalisks. This is so good. And look at that, more Mutalisks getting built. Say, what? Just cutting off the engagement or the reinforcement routes. This is just such a beautiful tactical play. Oh god, it's so good. And after she's pushed that all the way back, trying to conserve the Mutalisk, keep those value units alive. Bomber's control is absurd. But you know, there's one other small thing that's very particular to this situation, and occasionally happens in others, which is that if Marines are stimming, you can always pull back. If there's no medevacs, they've done a lot of damage to themselves as is. So sick. So this is, I think, one of the more terrifying moments of the game. I was busy fiddling with the colors and stopped talking for a moment, but I've said multiple times that, like, conserving the Mutalists and keeping them alive is, like, super duper important, and there's all those times when I was like, yep, this is where things are over. I was convinced that this is another one of those times where you want to be like, yep, just 1A until the Marines are dead. But obviously, there's this limbo line that goes back forever and ever and ever, all the way back into the base of Marines. Alright, so that's not going to work. And you'll also see, look at the Mutalist's health. Look at how they're being target fired. See how this one's taking damage and nothing else? And now this one's taking damage and nothing else? Bomber's, like, so smart with this, like, target firing. And Scarlett's, like, trying to rip down with drones, but I mean, Bomber's doing a lot of really tiny, cute little moves there. But I mean, how brilliant from Scarlett not to be massing Banelings, because as we've seen, they don't really do much in these small numbers against Marines. I mean, yeah, if you have like 15 Banelings, you might be able to take out one wave, and then you're broke forever. So look, there's a target firing from Bomber trying to pick off the Mutalists, and Scarlett moves in and back and in and back. So, alright. Scarlett's somehow not died. Amazingly. Couple little things that I just can't believe Scarlett is this good. Actually pulling some of the drones off mining here, because there's far too many, and starting to long-range mine to maintain at least some efficiency. Here's the stim and retreat. Just some incredible Baneling hits in those very small, tiny numbers. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, speeding things up. Doing some small long-range mining here up at the north. And still has a frickin' wherewithal to do these counterattacks. This is where my analysis begins to kind of break down. But still, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where, you know, if you have your gas units are your efficiency units, then you can always spend a little bit of minerals doing some counterattacking. But even then, who thinks like that in a time like this? Like, who really? I don't care if my analysis is good, man. I'm not even talking about the human emotion of a time like this. To be like, alright, well, if I lose, that would suck. And you start thinking about how you've lost, and you begin to get bummed. But I just love the way these Mutalists are just constantly dipping around, doing little bits of harasso damage, and this is where Scarlett loses this base. Throws some units in here, pulls at these angles to where the Marines are at points, and even though this expansion dies, now watch this, this is incredible. Okay, so we still see not a lot of Banelings getting produced there. It's mainly just Mutars. Look at how many Marines there are here. That's really, there's actually 37 Marines here. And I was like, okay, Scarlett is definitely dead. Like 100% unbelievably deaded here. Well, Scarlett starts doing some pretty cool things. First of all, not retaking an expansion. Just producing off this income. Brilliant. We don't have a big vulnerability. We can actually pull all the way back up into the main base and even use the queens there. The queens have also not been injecting larvae this whole time. And that's not out of being bad, that's just out of there's no way to spend it. So Scarlett just does these, like, like any edge that she can get, obviously removing the orbital commands for mules, and then just readjust the long-range mining. And then the instant Scarlett sees these, like, retreat moves, she just, like, instantly goes on the offensive. With, like, all the things. Just carefully looking for any opportunity. If everything's split in half and good, okay, nothing. Alright, nice. Going for the counterattack, I mean, there's, like, a Marine here. And then in one of these, like, awkward spots, actually has to engage pure Marine with pure Muta. But yep, keeps pulling it back, keeps building the Mutalisks. This Hero Marine killed off a lot of stuff. Pretty insane. This is where we see even bombers down to 5 workers. Income tab is kind of ridiculous. Oh, with a no base economy. I just love it, the efficiency of these Mutalisks. And there's even this point where, like, for the first time, Scarlett does something that we haven't seen her do at all, which is swing around into this main. It's partly because a lot of the Marines are focused here. But also, a lot of it is because Scarlett doesn't even have anything that really needs to be defended. There's no expansion that can be dropped and killed off, so it's like, alright, just doing this little thing. And then the sickest money move, the burrow, the ultra late burrow, the no base, continuing to macro with long range mining burrow play. Yeah, some Zergling seems good. Killing add-ons, shooting workers. The sickest. Dude, soon enough this daily's gonna degenerate into me just going, dude, look at this. So we talked about 20 being kind of a nice number. We see that the Mutalisk count was, you know, just under that, 17. A couple of Banelings and the Queens there to do the injects. Shrink. This is where it's like almost incorrect to hold towers because it's just a free unit. Mutalisks are that skill unit. Every bloomin' thing. Looking for opportunities. Until the burrowed Banelings. Oh. This is what's interesting, is that with like literally no vulnerabilities, it's kind of unclear where Bomber's going to be attacking. So Scarlett actually waited until she saw units begin to move this way before burrowing them. I want to come back like just a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay, so the burrow's finishing up. Baneling's moving back. See him hanging out here. Yeah, after seeing the Marines and all this stuff, burrows them. There, only after a little while. Now, in terms of the Banelings on the map, like, most of them are here. This is, yeah, there's 9 of them, and there's 2 of them. Absolute simplicity. It's not tons of burrowed Baneling traps. It's a pair. Just 2 Banelings. If there's a scan and this doesn't work out, no big deal. Just 2. It's not like 7 traps burrowed and hoping to get 1 huge play. But when that happens, oh baby, does it feel good. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh. 52 Marines. 50 frickin' 2 Marines. Down to 33 frickin' Marines. God, that's so good. Scarlett, who by the way has 400 minerals a minute with no base. Targets orbitals. When workers are gone, orbitals are basically worker factories, so let's get rid of those. Alright, where's the burrows? Nowhere to be found. Mutalisks continue to work their way around. So sick. Trying to find any vulnerability. This happens. I feel like a burrow maybe could have happened here. but that wouldn't have made this the best game in the world. See, just like looking for those opportunities, looking. Now the question is, do we want to engage this directly, or are we trying to force a burrow? This is what this move does. It forces an engagement over burrow. I don't know why I've even had the production tab open for so long. There's like no production. Kills off the last orbital. We see the hair dryer of fate that can no longer do scans. So there's this stim moment, and I love that Scarlett retreats. Not just because there's the opportunity to set up the burrow trap, but also because the Mutalisks are coming back. It's wasted life on all of these Marines. I mean, these guys are almost done. And then from 30 to 0 in a matter of seconds. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Wow. What? This has got to be the greatest, the most skillful game of ZVT I've ever seen. The most incredible, stunning, hang-in-there play from Scarlett. And you know, like, even though this daily has, like, been an hour and 20 minutes, God, my nose itches. Perfect. So even though this daily's been like an hour and 20 minutes, if I had to sum up the last, probably from the 14-15 minute onward, Scarlett is emphasizing Mutalisks in her production. Obviously building Banelings if she can, but especially when things are low econ, emphasizing Mutalisks. Because those are the skill unit that allows Scarlett to get back in the game. I know people love to talk about this burrowed Baneling, which by the way we're going to take another look at. Because we have to. People will remember this moment beyond any moment. God, this is good. But what actually let this happen was the mutas constantly doing stuff. Let's look at some of these hero mutas starting from the back. 6, 23, 9, 2, 9, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 0. Oh, that guy's embarrassing. I mean, like, the fact that all these are Marines or workers or buildings, this is probably 100 kills in some fashion over here. I can't believe how skillful and conservative the Mutalisk usage was for Scarlett. Really only one point in the game did Scarlett elect to engage, and it was actually right here with the drones earlier on. God. 23 kill Mutalisk. He's got that magical last glaive that dealt the one killing blow, and he's like, yeah, I'll mark that down as one of my kills. You know, guys are like, it was a third glaive bounce, Henry. Ease up. The one unit left alive was a Marine. Actually, if we go to the everyone cam, see if we can find it. Look at this Marine. Look at this count up here. 30 and 3, 4. There he is. Just hanging out. 2, 1. Oh, there he is. The last medevac has fallen. Who is here to stand? Marine, sir. I'm sorry. Alright, we're going to take questions because that game was good. What an elegant game. So if I had to discuss the primary concepts in there, I'd probably say there are 4. First one is the whole metagamey thing that we talked about at the very start. The intelligence of Scarlett's build and how easy it is to sort of get in the I'm going to try to win mode. And how it can spell, I don't want to say disaster, because obviously Scarlett was fine after that, but can un-advantage you. So that was the first one. The second one is this idea of mid-game convergence. After everything's gone haywire at the start, how to dip back into this normalness. The third thing that we saw at the start and many times at the end is that in a lot of these low econ positions, getting the cheap on larva unit, which tends to be expensive on resourcing unit, is a great way to both continue to drone in the early game and to make sure that you're getting value in the late game. We saw all the Mutalisk positioning constantly. And the last, but not least one, I would talk about is how brilliantly and cautiously Scarlett engaged that Marine Force. Ooh, continuing to make lots of Mutalisks and just sort of going around. Anytime it was too far drawn towards Scarlett, she goes around and kills it off. So cautiously does she engage the Marine Force that she's even sacrificing expansions. It's a simple statement. Cautiously engage the Marine Force, go around to cut off in order to get value out of the Mutalisks. Cautiously engage it. Such a simple statement, but it's very easy to just 1A your way in when your expansion's dying, or to just 1A your way in when you think that you can get it, and to lose everything. Just sacking expansions is brilliant. So Makepeace 13 asks a great question, simple question, why no Hive? Obviously there, we talked a little bit about this in part, maybe it was at the start of part 2? It was probably midway through part 2, where if you have a high enough Mutalisk count, and there's no aggression, that's generally a good time to throw down the infestation pit for the Hive. Now, just because people are asking about the Hive doesn't mean they're talking just about the building. A lot of times it's about the Hive tech units. Why no Infestor? Why no infestation pit? Or excuse me, why no Infestors? Why no Ultralisks? Why no Broodlords? All these kinds of things. Those are such hard units to get when you're up against this sort of aggression, but you need to give yourself the possibility of it in case your Terran buddy begins to go passive and build up a mega death force. So what would have probably happened had Scarlett got the infestation pit is we probably would have only seen the adrenal gland for the Zerglings get researched and maybe one additional upgrade. I think that Scarlett was just under way too much pressure. Obviously the reason why players generally delay the Hive is because they're just under a lot of pressure, and it takes a lot of wherewithal to ignore the pressure and remember to build the Hive. But even in the circumstance which you do get the Hive down in this game, Scarlett still, I don't think, has enough money to even get the Hive units. So Enders515 says, Danon, what should Bomber have done differently after killing the gold to win the game? Dude, I don't know. I mean, honestly, truly, nearly all StarCraft games, you can be like, there's the moment where the loss happened. Right there. And the other, like, rest of the games that aren't a one moment, like 99% of those are like two moments, like, oh, that's where he sort of fell behind, but he was okay. And there's another moment where he messed up and now he's dead. And then that's it. Your analysis is done. You figured it out. Game solved. But in that game, I go with two things. One of them, okay, hold on. Uh-oh. Maintaining a little bit of chat utopia, dishing out the bans. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, God. I'll tell you about that in a second. Oh, man. Yeah, so one would have been to have a simple supply depot and bunker wall off at the third. I think that would have abated a lot of damage to the third and would have probably prevented Scarlett's whittling away at that base from doing much. The other one is maybe at the gold, Bomber could have defended it a little bit better. Even something as simple as a sensor tower. I don't know. It's really hard because that's like really good game. Let's see. Crazy Chris. Hey, what up, Crazy Chris? Saw you. Like 5 rows back. Nice sign, by the way. Dana, why did Scarlett put her Spire in the natural? Would it have been safer to put in the main? Does it matter? I don't know. I mean, in a spot like that, I mean, I probably wouldn't have put it here for like many reasons. I mean, if anything, I probably would have snuck it back there or back here. Anywhere where it's like safe from frontal attacks. This gets scanned if he scans the natural. It gets scanned if he scans between the bases. The only place it doesn't get scanned is up here. Oh, there's little lights where the minerals used to be. I had no idea. So good. Alright, that's it. You know, what's making me giggle is how I feel like I understand people really well in a lot of ways. I feel like I can sit down and chat to someone and relate to them on a lot of levels, especially if they're a gamer. I feel this way, but there's a sort of person that I just don't get. So the one that happened was someone is coming like, oh my god, this guy dick rides Scarlett so hard, I'm fucking out. And that was the whole message. And I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of that person who's like, I want to watch some Twitch. That's where you go to watch video games. Let's see what's on. Huh, there's this show about StarCraft? I play StarCraft. Tunes in, and I'm like, look at this incredible game. This is a really good game. And you know what? This is like, truly, honestly, this is a really good game. And he's like watching this, and he's getting so mad. He's like, yeah! he's pissed. He's like enraged. Oh, like I don't even understand what happens. And he's like, I'm gonna type it. No, I'm not. I can't type it yet. I'm gonna see if he starts saying nice stuff about Bomber. I mean, he's said that Bomber played amazingly so many times, but he's mainly watching this game from Scarlett's point of view, and I'm not gonna be deceived. No, mister. I will not be deceived by him giving Bomber compliments but not looking at it from his perspective. No. And then all of a sudden we got to the game and it ended and he saw the banelings and he was like, what the fuck? This piece of shit, I'm done. He didn't even just close it. He took the time, which could have been upwards of 5 seconds, to type it out before closing the window. Right when he hit enter, I wonder if he stayed. Wouldn't that be the damnedest thing? He's like, this is bullshit. He's writing so hard. I'm done with this. And I know there's like a 15-second delay on the video, so let me stay here. Oh, I felt the release I have felt. And then I fucking banned him. That was wonderful. I have an opinion, Sean. Well, you don't exist anymore. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I unexisted you. Oh my god, that's an angry child just hit the power button off and he disintegrated. Nice. That was so fantastic. Wonderful. This just cracks me up. There's another person who's in here. Why aren't you talking about the fact that widow mines are trash now? Trash? You don't have to build them if you don't want to. No one's making you build the widow mine. Just don't build the widow mine. I mean, I said the 10 seconds that I needed to. Widow mines are weaker, so Bomber's making more Marines. Well, there he is. They're so bad that it's your responsibility, Sean, to be angry about it. It's not my responsibility. I'm just going to build the shit that wins. And look, he's still there. You have to build. What else are you going to build, Day 9? all Marines like Bomber did and get top 4 in the world. Oh, and he got banned. Whoa. Chat Utopia. Oh, that's so good. Wow. My win rate has gone down, therefore it's your responsibility to be mad. Oh my god. What a delightful life, man, that was. It's censorship. No. He got unexisted. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you next week. I'm on Thanksgiving break.